I'm going to take my medicine now. I'm going to read the poem that he gave me to give me courage. Come to the edge, by Christopher Lowe. Come to the edge, you might fall. Come to the edge, it's too high. Come to the edge. And they came, and he pushed, and they flew.
Oh, very good, Mary.
Now, the piece of street furniture that I'm standing on is the Listowel Tidy Towns Committee seat to commemorate Listowel's being awarded the tidiest small town in Ireland in 2016. And the seat itself was designed and executed by a local sculptor, Darren Enright. The upper part depicts the trophy that we won for being Ireland's tidiest small town. And the 6 seats all around it are designed to look like old tractor seats to acknowledge Listowel's rural heritage.
The Right Honourable the Earl of Listowel, Mr. John O'Sullivan, proprietor, respectfully begs leave to inform the nobility, gentry and public that his new and commodious hotel in the square of Listowel
Owner was the tenor Joseph Locke, who owned the hotel for a short time in the 1960s. And while it was owned by Joseph Locke, it was called the White Horse Inn. And in tribute to Joseph Locke, Paddy McFilligan is going to sing us a bar of the White Horse Inn.
Oh, lovely.
I'll do or die, or know the reason why when told. I'm told me upon last stand for the fatherland. Goodbye, goodbye, I wish you all a last goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, I wish you all a last goodbye.
And he's going to sing My Silver River Field by Brian McMahon.
To stand again and watch the red dawn breaking along thy banks, my silver river field. Tonight I see a cottage fire a-gleaming, the elves are dancing in the fairy ring. Pile up the stream, come silver salmon teeming, alive with all the urgencies of spring.
The first church in Listowel was up at the top of Church Street, to which it gives its name, and all that remains of that now is the old ruined tower. And then when the Catholics were driven out of there, they had a mass house in Taylane, until eventually in around 1820, Lord Listowel gave them the site where our present Catholic church is now. Brian McMahon, Brian won the Nielsen Local History Prize at Listowel Writers Week 2018 for his book on the famine in North Kerry.
Thank you, Mary. I'm afraid my story is sombre from start to finish, unfortunately, and no songs. Darby O'Mahony first comes to our attention, I suppose, in 1834 in an incident that happened near Ballybunion, a big faction fight between two rival family groups, one of the features of Irish life at the time. In the faction fight, 20 people died and lots more were injured, and it became a major, notorious event in public life in North Kerry, and indeed in the whole of Ireland. Faction fighting soon came to an end.
Now, as well as the parish priest, the nuns in Listowel did everything that they could to help out during the famine as well. And the nuns often went hungry themselves in order to feed the starving children. And they are actually depicted with Darby O'Mahony in the window that is in. And it's worth your while to go into the sanctuary and to look at the window, and you'll see.
Who will light the lantern and keep it burning bright? Who will search the darkness where shadows seek the light? Who will find the courage to sing a different song? Who will light the lantern
give money for her.
That my right hand might fall off if he won't. 200 sovereigns for you if the girl will consent.
And what's in it for you? It isn't out of the goodness of your heart you're playing your hand.
It'll be £100 for me.
£200. She'll scorn him. She has high notions.
Aye, it won't come easy. High notions or no high notions, you're the one that can do it. Isn't she a boy child? Tell her you'll bill Raggard through the parish if she goes against you. Tell her you'll hunt the old woman into the county home. Think of the 200 sovereigns dancing in the heel of your fist. Think of the thick bundle of notes in the shelter of your bosom. Isn't every day of the week £200 will come your way?
The girl is flighty like a colt. Threats might only make her worse.
Telling us the story of the play in songs. And Paddy now is going to sing for us the 5 songs accompanied by our own.
Oh, Mike Lavin, you're the man, you was always in the van, with an old rubbin' daughter, old man and garçon. May white snuff be at your wake, baker's bread and a corny cake, and a plenty on your table late and soon. But they scorned the tinker's son when his song of praise was done, and his father, Pat Cock, smote on the floor, saying, "Clap that on, my jewel. Let a song both wild and cruel settle down upon this house forevermore." On the road to Abbey Fair, sure I met a man with mail. "Come here," says he, "and pass your idle time." On me he made quite bold, saying the young will wed the old, and the old man have the money for the child.
This is Gortinart House, the home of Lord and Lady Listowel. Now, Lord and Lady Listowel actually owned a much bigger, better house in Ballyhooly in County Cork, so they didn't really spend an awful lot of time here at all.
So the families associated with the house are Collis, Church, Fitzgerald, Crosby. All these 4 were agents of Lord Listowel. And Armstrong, they left circa 1921. He owned a sweet factory near where Carroll's Yard is now. It was also owned by Bank of Ireland and the Church of Ireland. Then came David Maloney, then came the Maloney family, then David Lawler, and now Kathy Welch. The story of Armstrong is interesting. He ran a sweet factory near the castle, and after Arthur Vickers was shot and Kilmorna House burned in 1921, his wife stayed in Gertinard House for safety. Shortly after this, Mr. Armstrong left Listowel.
Actually, I should have introduced Eamon. Eamon O'Murraghoo, for those of you who don't know him, is actually the son of the first chair of Writers' Week, Louis O'Murraghoo.
We lived in Knockmoyle. That's a wild old hill 6 miles out from Listowel. There were 3 families of us in the hill, Colberts, Colladons and Connors, and Lord Listowel was our landlord. We had to pay him £20 for our share of the hill. The others had to pay the same. It was too much for them. We never knew anything but hunger and starvation in our house, eating spuds 3 times a day, and easing them down with sour milk when we had it. To make a long story short, we failed to keep up with the rent, and Lord Listowel gave orders to clear us all out, Corberts, Connors and Colladons alike. But I wasn't hungry for long. A nice fellow in a red jacket and ribbons flying from his cap took me into a baker's shop, gave me 2 penny buns to eat and a cup of tea to wash them down. The first tea I ever tasted. He gave me a shilling all for myself and invited me to go with him to where he lived. Aha, I'd been a soldier of the Queen ever since.
Given that this is Writers' Week, I think it's maybe useful to reflect on what the sources of knowledge and information would have been for the writers of Listowel and indeed of North Kerry. But just to start, I found a piece. It was from 1966, and the playwright and poet Sigerson Clifford was reviewing a new collection by Brendan Kennelly, and in his introduction he starts by saying, being an indolent Evera man, not that the two often go together, The literary industry of North Kerryman never ceases to astonish me. The late Maurice Walsh wrote enough books to roof the Carnegie. Ryan McMahon has used up all the words in the dictionary, and John B. Keane seems to turn out a new play once a month. And every magazine and paper I pick up has a Brendan Kennelly poem between the pages. He goes on to say then, it must be something they put in the holy water that they baptised the North Kerry youngsters with.
But in honour of that awful immigration story, Paddy is going to sing Ellis Island for us.
And in springtime when I came here and I stepped onto its piers, I thought of how it must have been when you're 15 years. I love hope, I love tears, I love freedom, I love fears, but it's not the isle you left behind. That isle of hunger, isle of pain, isle you'll never see again. But the isle of home is always on your mind. But the isle of home is always on your mind.
Good morning. So my own name is Antoinette Gilbert. I run two companies called Irish Host Family and Agriculture Centre. Irish Host Family brings European students over for different lengths of stays from 2 weeks to a full school year, and they're here to learn the English language through a variety of programs that we run. So as we were getting bigger every year, we needed a proper base. So we had a look at this building and fell in love with it straight away. It needed a lot of work done to it, but what we've done is kept the character of the building.
To finish up, the singers are going to sing Lovely Listowel, and especially yourselves.
They came from Castle Island, they came from Trinidad, and the African memory came from Fiji. We the Dutchman, the German, the Swede, and the Pole, more like Geneva than lovely Listowel. Tooraloo, tooralay, more like Geneva than lovely Listowel. My riding is over, God bless those who heard. So I take to the road and fly off like a bird. But before I depart, well, you all must stay told. Further races in lovely Listowel. Tooraloo, tooralay. Cheers for the races in lovely Listowel.
Thank you all very much for accompanying us around the square today, and can I have a big round of applause for all the contributors, all my 8 assistants.
Again. Because